In the contracting world, the average consumer looks at a contractor and has a lot of stereotypes about them. One of those stereotypes is that you're not honest, that you're not going to do what you said you were going to do, that you're unethical. Today on Contractor Fight TV, we're going to address this and help you figure out if you're really being ethical or if you're just like all the other schmucks out there. Let's go. So my friends, the other day in our private Facebook group, Contractor Fight Facebook group, one of our members in there posted something. It was a great post. He said, a lot of you guys are, drinking Tom's Kool-Aid, basically going, hey, charge more and your value and all this other shit, add value, charge more, make more money. Yet, I think if you're not delivering a great experience to people and doing some other things that we're going to talk about here today, he says, I believe that is unethical. And so I wanted to shoot this video today about that because I absolutely 100% agree. Some of you, I was one of them, one of you at one point until I started learning some of this stuff, 20 years ago. I could have classified myself as an unethical contractor at times. Now, when I say unethical, I don't mean you're sitting there and you're going, hey, let's, tweak the bid and rip people off and fuck with them, okay? I don't think hardly any of you are doing that. But we are unethical in other ways if we're not paying attention to this. And so I truly believe that if you are charging more, that the experience and the service and all that stuff should be on par with what you're charging. Just charging more for the sake of charging more and not following through on some of the things we're going to talk about here, that's what's unethical. Hopefully that makes sense. So what are some of these things that come to mind? There are probably 6 or 7 things here that just came to my mind off the top of my head, and I'm sure you guys can fill in the list with some more stuff. The overarching theme to somebody who's unethical as a contractor is that you don't honor your commitments. In fact, I challenge you to do this. This is something that we do in some of our groups. I challenge people to go to their personal Facebook profile, not your business, but your personal. Simply type in, don't set it up, don't say, hey, I'm doing this experiment, just type it in, just go, hey, what do you all hate about home improvement contractors? You're going to see mainly the shit that I'm talking about here. And the root of this is that you're not honoring your commitments, okay? So think about this. Are you calling people back when you say you're going to call them back? If you have a voicemail that says, hey, leave a message, we'll get back to you within 24 hours or 4 hours or whatever, do you call them back? When you schedule a time with a prospect, whether it's on the phone or in person, okay, a meeting with somebody like that, are you showing up? Are you on time or are you late? When you're late, it's disrespectful. Okay, that's a huge one. Are you showing up? How about this? I hear this one a lot in these groups. When we post this shit, okay, to the public, what do you hate about contractors? This one baffles me. They'll say things like, yeah, I met with 3 contractors or 2 contractors or 17 contractors, whatever it is, and I don't have any numbers yet. They all said they were going to get me numbers on the project, and it's been 10 days. It's been a week. It's been 3 weeks. I literally hear that, guys. You're not honoring your commitment. If you're going to get somebody a number, then you get them a damn number. It's that simple. Do what you said you were going to do. What about starting on a certain date? Now, I get it, weather fucks with us, and there's things that go wrong on projects, and that's the nature of construction. 100% understand that. All right? But if you're committing to starting the week of such and such, and then you just don't show up, or the day you're supposed to start, you call the customer and you say, yeah, we can't make it this week. Guys, that's unethical. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. What you needed to do was set expectations when you sold the project, saying, hey, I just want to be up front here. A lot of times Mother Nature has her own plan. Things happen on job sites, blah, blah, blah. I will give you some updates leading up. Our target is this week, but I will communicate with you all the way through so that you're not caught off guard. Guys, you got to honor that commitment of starting on a certain date, because when you don't, you're just like every other contractor who can't keep his word. How about this? If there's an issue on the job site, it's a callback. You have to go back. How are you about going back and addressing that? Do you push them out until it's convenient for you, or do you move shit around to give them that red carpet experience? I believe, again, this is in the context, everybody, of you charging more than your competitors. If you're doing what we talk about here, 50% gross profit and shit, you're probably way more expensive than everybody else. So again, if you're going to play that card, then this is the level of service that you have to bring to people. If you want to be a cheap contractor and be the cheapest guy on the block, then you would expect some of these things because you get what you pay for. Get your ass back there and address an issue. Quit being a baby about it. Okay? Chalk it up as a marketing expense if that's what you want to do. That's what I used to do. When we had to fix something, I'm like, hey, we go back, there's no issue, there's no argument. 9 times out of 10, they're telling the world how easy it was to work with us. Are you leaving them a to-do list after the job is done? Meaning, is there a mess? Do they got to fix shit? Do they got to move things around? You get where I'm going here, right? Okay? If you're going to charge more, then you need to be ethical and make sure that there's no sign of you being there other than what you did in the house. Okay? The only evidence, if you're a painting contractor or whatever, the only evidence of you being in the home should be the new color. There shouldn't be shit on the floor and dust and all this other stuff. Why? Because you're paying more, and people expect a red carpet experience. And the final thing here, guys, is finish on time, which shouldn't come as a surprise. It all falls under this umbrella of just honor your damn commitments. If you say you're going to be done, then you need to be done. You need to finish. And if you're not, because of weather or some unforeseen condition, then you need to have those conversations. Don't expect them to read your damn mind. 99% of the contractors who would be classified as unethical are not doing it on purpose. I totally believe that in my heart. I believe in, just like in anything, there's a few crooked people out there, right? But for the most part, we're good human beings. We're trying to do the right thing, all right? But if we're not careful, we start making promises that we can't fulfill, that we can't honor. So if you want to have a better business, if you want to be known as a kick-ass brand in your area, simply start with what we talked about here today and honor the commitments that you've made to your customers. If you're charging more money, I think it's unethical if you do it even if you're cheap, but especially if you're going to bang the drum of, hey, we're going to be a more expensive contractor, we're going to price our things right to make a profit and make some money and have a future and all that stuff that's amazing, you got to deliver on this stuff that we talked about here today. If you want to get into a community, like I talked about earlier, of people that are doing just this, they're working on their minds, they're working on the tactics and strategies of business to help them get better. I want to encourage you guys to head to thecontractorfight.com/Facebook, join our free Facebook group. You guys rock. I got to roll. I'll see you next time.